Hey folks, and welcome back here to Ace Run Productions as we continue to bring you coverage of the 2023 Myrtle Beach Open presented by Innova out in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We are now going to be at the Sockasty Disc Golf Course for our second round. Once again, bringing you the coverage will be myself, Dustin Murray, alongside Nathan Queen. How's it going, sir?
Doing well and excited to be out here at the more natural Carolina style of golf at Sockasty Recreation Park. As you see here, these guys walking in the woods, what we like to see. Excited to see these guys attack this more wooded course with a lot more trees to keep.
Yeah, all of these players hail from the Carolinas, as we'll start with our two South Carolina natives, first being Braeden Sides from Discmania, rated 10-16, 13 career MPO wins dating back to just 2022. Also just won the Tennessee State Championships over Chris Dickerson and also won the Lake Marshall Open. Then we got Micah Groth, who's just under 10-20 rated, was the NADGT National Champion 2021, and has also cashed in the Pro Tour multiple times this year, including some top 20 finishes at Kansas City Wide Open and Mid-America Open.
And then AJ Carey starting off his event with a 1039 rated round, also from North Carolina. Gonna jump into Grady Shue, who's been having a good finish to his season. Just recently won that Down East Players Cup, getting that rating on up there to around 1020. And that will get us off here at Sockasty on hole 1, 301-foot par 3. As you can see here, very tight gap off of the tee into another tight gap about halfway down the fairway, and kind of a line of trees right here that block the basket for you. So very difficult to get to a clean putt on this one. Ideally, you'd just like to make it more than 3/4 of the way down the fairway and see what you have.
Welcome to the 2023 Innova Disc Myrtle Beach Open. Now on the tee, from South Carolina, Braeden Sides.
And Braeden Sides will take the box first. Again, shooting the hot round of the day for the first round. 12 under par. One of only two players shoot double digits at Splinter City Golds to open off this tournament. Looks like he's got an old school MD3 in his hands. Again, he is representing Discmania. And again, a guy who's kind of just getting his pro career started, but already had, some big wins this year, including one over Dickerson at the Tennessee State Championships. And that is a beautiful shot, Nathan.
Yeah, it's not too often you see a disc make it all the way through the trees here. If there is an intended line, it's hard to pick one on this hole, but that looked very well intended from Braeden. He's going to have a nice birdie look. You see Micah Groth here going with that forehand instead, and he is able to miss most of the trees as well, and that's more like the flight that you expect.
Carey.
About 3/4 of the way down the fairway. See what you got.
Yeah, AJ Carey here again playing for Lone Star Disc. He was actually the 2017 Amateur World Champion. Had some top 25 finishes on tour this year at Texas State's and a Discmania Open. I get caught up a little early on this shot, though, to kick off his second round.
Now on the tee from North Carolina.
Now we got Grady Shue representing Infinite Disc. As you noted, recent success. Also had a top 20 finish at Worlds this year, so you've been doing pretty well on the tour at times.
Yeah, able to get about 3/4 of the way down the fairway there. Another one that's going to work out. AJ, probably outside circle too from here, just trying to give it a long look. And is able to, yeah, that's a pretty good bid.
He looked disappointed with it. I mean, I get it. You want to try to score early, but that was a really nice bid from where he was. And Micah Groth has a lot of trees to weave between to get up there, but he'll have a tap-in par. Again, he's another successful amateur, having won that NADGT championship in 2021. He's also top 25 at Champions Cup this year, so already had a good finish at a major at a young age. So we get the Grady Shue's putt.
Yeah, and Grady's got a strong circle 2 putt. Lots of wrist action to get his disc going, and ends up just a bit high on that one from long range. And Braeden, something you don't really see all that often on hole 1, having the comeback putt from hole 2's fairway, and unfortunately just a little bit too strong on the drive.
Yeah, I would imagine
Gonna
you
see
don't
a-
see too many circle 2 putts deep of the basket on this hole, considering how it is shaped up. But yeah, it looks like a lot of pars to kind of move our way into hole number 2. Nice little synced disc drop there from those 2 players.
Yeah, this hole actually averaging over par for the day at a 3.09.
Certainly see why. There's definitely a lot of trouble on the way to the basket as we head into hole 2, a little bit of a shorter par 3.
Yeah, at 249 feet, you've got the OP fence following down the right side. Just make sure you don't turn it over too much, but pretty much a stock right-hand backhand shot. Miss those trees late, even if you catch the trees, as long as you get the correct distance, you're going to be inside the circle.
Yeah, as you said, probably just going to be a lot of kind of just stock hyzer chip shots for most of these players with an approach disc of some sort.
Yeah, there can be a bit of a headwind on this hole, so when you would typically you'll see putter mid-range, but sometimes if that wind is super strong, you might see a fairway just to combat that a little bit. But great shot there from Braeden.
No doubt about that. Micah Groth with a similar line. Going to push a little bit deep. Going to have a little bit of a longer putt for birdie.
Yeah, going for the ace runs early on today.
A little wider line here from Carey, but still going to get up there on the dance floor.
Yeah.
Interesting line there from Grady. Probably meant to be a little bit wider with the height that he had on it, but snuck up there nicely.
An open look for AJ, going to be wide left. Just a little uncommitted on that one. See what Micah can do here. Catching the opposite side of the basket, but still no birdies to be found here on this lead card.
Yeah, everywhere you shouldn't hit so far. Grady from a bit closer. Gonna try to line up the first birdie of the day here.
Well, there you go. Right in the heart. Puts it up and over, and we'll grab the first birdie here. Par tap-ins for everyone else.
Micah. Yeah, Micah ended up a bit farther away than I thought after a bounce away off of that basket, but able to clean up nicely.
Yeah, par cleanup there as well for Mr. Carey. Now we finally get the Braeden Sides here.
Yeah, first to throw, last to putt. Not a bad way to do it. Catch his first birdie of the round as
That'll
well.
extend his lead by another stroke. 3 ahead of Micah Groth as we take a quick break before bringing you some more front nine coverage.
Quit being stuck in the past. Check out the new and improved website at infinitediscs.com.
On to hole 3, 294-foot par 3. Shaping left to right. You see this big pine on the left side. You want to hug that out on the left, and then you see the arrow. It's about where you want to start moving to the right. Soft fade, not too hard of a fade. If you get caught up early right side, it's very difficult to scramble. Same with the left, as you can tell, pretty thick everywhere. I see some mid-range and forehand, probably forehand fairway drivers.
Yep, you call it. Looks like a fairway forehand here for Braeden Sides. Cutting through pretty nicely, I might say.
Yeah, drew that up well. Rather than hanging it wide, went with more of a flex shot. Worked out very nicely.
Looks like a similar disc selection here from Grady Shue, and also a similar line.
Yeah, he did get that one off a little bit wider. And straight down that fairway. Going to be a nice shot inside circle 1.
See if
A bit inside there from Micah.
Well, 4 forehands approach the tee box, but only 2 make it to the green as AJ Carey is going to get caught up early as well. So going to come down to some pretty tough scrambling to save par here.
Yeah, and you can see the basket, but look at all the things in between him and there, and he's able to make it about halfway. Not looking good for the par here, but does have a long opportunity.
Yeah, tries to give it a little jumper, but is going to come up well short, so he will have to settle for bogey on this one. Micah Groth kind of has the basket framed up for him here. Tries to give it a go, but it's just so congested.
Yeah, that may have looked framed up, but it was about 80 feet, and it's pretty difficult to frame your putter 80 feet straight.
That is fair.
Grady Shue only has about 18 feet, though, and he's going to go back-to-back birdies.
Indeed he is. Braeden Sides a chance to do the exact same thing, and he will indeed collect, so not allowing anyone to really pressure his lead quite yet here.
And a bit of a tester for bogey there, but AJ Carey able to connect on that one. Going to be looking to bounce back on a bit of an easier par 4 coming up.
Yes, just look at the scores here. A couple birdies for Grady Shue and Braeden Sides kind of keep them at neutral position. Micah Groth has lost 1 stroke to the lead as we head to that par 4 you were talking about.
Yeah, definitely on the shorter side, 459 feet, but very tight gap to hit. You're looking straight down it right now. The basket's going to be just slightly off to the left, as you see right there. Early left is going to cause you the troubles to get your 4s and possibly your 5s. Off to the right side, it opens up a bit where there eventually is a road, but very difficult to reach it. Eagle opportunity is there, but with such a tight tunnel, you don't see people get too aggressive too often.
I mean, I don't understand how Braeden hit nothing there. That was crazy. I thought that was inside early, and it just kept going.
You are correct, sir. That was inside and early, and I also don't know how it didn't hit anything.
Speaking of not hitting things, look at this.
Yeah, there is a bit of a fairway over there, but the gap to hit it isn't really there. So very surprised both of them made it that far.
I like the idea there for Micah Groth, just kind of playing over towards that safer right-hand side to flip up forehand, and made some good progress. AJ Carey perhaps thinking, maybe I can find that magical fairway over there on the left-hand side, but does not, unfortunately.
Yeah, this is more what you expect to see with those first 2 shots whenever you see it that early. This is kind of what you tend to see happen is a early kick. AJ is going to get himself into circle 2 for the long birdie look still.
And now Micah Groth has a tough choice to make here to try to see if he can still get up and down. He's kind of exploring all of his options, as you can see. Not really quite sure which one's going to be the most ideal route.
Yeah, it is open on that right side, but it pushes you pretty far away from the pin. Hard to get all the way back
Or
left.
you could just hit it.
Oh, my goodness.
You could do that. Look at the shock on his face. I mean,
oh, man.
I can't blame him.
Incredible shot there.
I mean, just the creativity, just to kind of map that out and try to figure out what you could do there. That was incredible.
Yeah, great height and Grady Shue.
Let's go, man. We're going to run that one back for you real quick. You're talking about his circle 2 putting prowess earlier on in the coverage, and it's going to come through here for you. That's a big one to score.
Yeah, there you have it. There is an eagle here on hole 4. Big putt after getting a little bit lucky down the left side.
And AJ Carey not to be outdone hitting the long one as well. Let's get you another run back there. All right.
There we have. All right. Micah coming up just a bit short. These guys decided to show him where the chains were at. Big birdie save there from AJ Carey. Had to get that 3. able to connect.
This is Braeden for eagle in his own right after having a crazy drive, but just a touch high.
Man, it's hard to be that third person to putt. You know, if two people make a good putt, that third person seems to be just a little bit more difficult. Definitely a good bid though, hitting the band. Grady Shue was the only eagle on the day. I cut right through it. I was gonna try not to say it, but yeah, I did cut right through.
It's okay.
Brings us into hole 5. 349-foot par 3. This is a pretty difficult green to access. Kind of a funny angle moving off to the left. Once you do make that bend to the left, then you've kind of got a scatter plot of trees that you can't see from the tee. So hard to pick exactly where you want to be to miss all those trees. But still a fun shot to throw. Not quite your stock hyzer shots. You kind of need a bit of a hyzer stand up that then skips off to the left.
Nice low skipping shot from Grady Shue, works its way up there nicely.
Yeah, kind of like that. That stood up nicely and then just kind of got that slide rather than skipping left, but still going to put him well inside the circle.
Unfortunately, Braeden gets caught up a little bit there, so likely settling for par on this one. But as you said, this is not one of those holes that you can chalk up as a, must birdie.
Yeah, those two shots you saw after Grady's are kind of what you see a lot of. Looking good and then catches a tree on the entrance or just skips off a little bit too early. This has a nice line on it.
Oh, it did. I agree with you on that. But like you said, it's just a minefield trying to get to the basket on this one. Oh, and Micah in the wilderness here. That would have been special.
Yeah, another scare from long. AJ Carey also has an opportunity for a long putt.
And it's back-to-back for AJ Carey on long putts. And he's going to get a run back, and deservedly so. Starting to strike now really well.
Yeah, look at that line. Doesn't quite have it straight to it. Has to use the hyzer that's already naturally on his putt. And lines it up dead center. Like you said, back-to-back big putts. Grady Shue, back-to-back Annie putts. Oh, no, comes up just a bit low. But that was eerily similar to the longer eagle putt he just made on 4.
I can certainly see the similarities there, but in the end, the only birdie carded on this hole will be AJ Carey here from our lead card. Keeping himself in the double digits, keeping himself in striking distance as Braeden Sides has created a little bit of separation, but still lots of golf to play. We have some more front nine action after the break.
The Innova Rolo, the disc made for rolling. 4. The Rolo, making rollers fun.
And here we are at hole 6. I believe it's a little bit longer than 243, but it is on the short side of the creek this year. And there's a bit of a left side gap that's open as well. Gonna be hard to see either gap on this flyover though, as both are very tight. The right side gonna be a little bit more open. Soft putter or mid-range flex shot.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I see what you're saying now.
I don't know. Yeah, this gap, this is a funny one. It feels good to hit the gap.
That probably doesn't feel too good.
No, you really want to get halfway down the fairway, as I'm going to say on most of these holes out here, because you can see the rough on the sides. If you're not halfway down, you're going to have a difficult time getting the rest of the way down and try to scramble for a par.
Braeden Sides looking like he's finding a route here up the right-hand side of the fairway. Oh, yeah, that is well done. Would have been parked if it wasn't for such a fast green, but still has a good birdie putt look there.
Yeah, the pine needles keep you moving
Okay,
here.
sir. I see what's going on here. The rare overhand.
And still, even with the skinniness of that disc, gonna find a tree on this fairway. Looks like AJ ended up in a pretty ideal spot as far back on the fairway with a line to hit, but not quite able to connect on that.
Yeah, it's just a little inside on that backhand, so going to be scrambling for bogey at this point. As Grady has gotten up and down and put himself in a spot to grab his par. I mean, Micah's got nothing.
Oh, and Micah's, yeah, that kick over there put him in a really pinched off position, but you can't say he has nothing if he's got a forehand like that.
That was beautiful. That was actually a forehand with his putting putter, which a Luna, which is kind of on the more understable side. And, yeah, that was a really good touch. Speaking of good touch, great upshot there.
Now for the lone birdie on the card, Braeden Sides.
He's on a heater so far this weekend.
Yeah, catching back up with Grady for the hot round on the card so far, putting him back 4 strokes in front of the lead.
Yeah, again,
or excuse me, 4 strokes in the lead.
Yeah, just a reminder, Braeden Sides has really only been playing full-time pro since 2022, 2021 time frame. And again, already beat Dickerson on his home turf in Tennessee at the state championships there, and also won the Lake Marshall Open this year against some fierce competition. So he's starting to make a little bit of a splash out there in the pro scene as he maintains that 4-stroke lead we were talking about heading into hole number 7.
Yeah, and splashing quickly, it sounds like. And into hole 7, 491-foot par 4, pretty quick dog leg to the right. The majority of the fairway is going to be after that dog leg. So difficult to get tons of distance off of the tee. There's an aggressive backhand turnover. There's also an aggressive backhand roller. But likely to see some mildly aggressive fairway driver turnovers or some forehands just to get around the corner.
Pretty shot there from Braeden Sides.
Yeah, not aggressive at all, just playing smart, not trying to get too far around the corner.
Grady, you're right next to him there.
Yeah, playing that forehand well. This is a little wide, but it is going to cut just in front of that long tree line. He'll be in a good position also.
So we got the lone, or not the lone backhand. There's 2 backhand turnovers on this one, and
Got the Lone Star backhand.
I was actually thinking about going that route, but I thought maybe it was a bit too cheesy. But maybe I should have. I like the way it sounded when it came out of your mouth, at least.
AJ's, he's got the bogeys on the card today, so that was definitely the more aggressive play. He's trying to make some things work and catch back up a bit, but at this point, it's not helping him out too much. With the shortness of this hole, he is still able to get up there into circle 2 for a birdie look, but this is one of those holes you want to be tapping in your 3.
That's what the rest of the card will look to do, as Micah Groth getting caught up, though, on his way to the green, so he's going to have some work to do.
Grady going with the touch backhand, but again, that pine needle green here, speeding him up a little bit. It can trick you sometimes because you'll catch a root and stop immediately, but a lot of the time you just continue to slide. Braeden Sides, though, slides right up there nicely.
Oh, just barely off there, Micah Groth. But yeah, you can see a lot of the players have been playing some of those lower lines, anticipating some of that faster green action. So definitely seems to be on their minds at some points. As AJ, kind of an up and down round so far. You know, he's had some big moments on the putting green with some long putts for birdie, but he's also had a couple of errors cost him some strokes out there.
Another solid putt from Grady Shue. Just on a dead straight line, no movement in it whatsoever.
And I mean, Braeden Sides is just continuing to pile it on right now. He's 5 down through 7 on this front 9.
Yeah, cruising on along. Still has that 4-stroke lead over Grady. And Micah keeping it clean so far, but definitely going to want to put some more birdies on the card. An opportunity here at the 8th, 340 feet. You really want to go to the right side of those trees you see in the middle down there as the righty backhand. Push it straight for a good ways and then let it slowly fade off to the left. You can go faster as well, but that faster seems to skip earlier and catch those early trees a bit more often, or just push it long and not get the skip in time.
Oh, and that just didn't quite have enough turn on and out the hand. You could certainly see what he was looking for there, but going to get stuck in the middle.
Yeah, this one's sneaking through those trees in the middle, and he's going to get past those next trees with a nice kick. Rewarded with a nice tap-in birdie for a bit of an early release.
Has a chance to gain a stroke as well in the leader. Bring it to 3, more than likely.
And Micah gets on through there without touching anything. I promise that these trees are there.
Great shot from AJ up until the tail end. Going to get caught up there just before the green.
He seems to be the one showing us that the trees are there today, unfortunately.
Yeah, the trees are 99% air. He's found the 1% quite often.
Yeah, he needs to. The rest of the group needs to split that up with him a little bit, you know.
Not a real stat, by the way. I am not a scientist. Just want to clear that up.
That's just discology.
Yeah. And you could tell that AJ wasn't happy with that bid. Just never really had a chance on that one. And catching right side is going to be Micah Groth. So he'll have to sort of for par as well here.
Yeah, it looked like a good putt there. Just slightly off to the right.
So the lone birdie this hole going to be coming the way of Grady Shue. Again, just gaining that 1 stroke on Braeden Sides, putting it within 3 with just 1 hole left to play here on the front 9 of the second round. Still lots of golf, though, ahead of us. No doubt about that. So we kind of just gave you a brief score update for the whole card. Again, kind of an up and down round for AJ Carey. Micah keeping it clean, but not quite finding the birdies. We'll see if that changes after a short break.
And the conclusion of the front 9, 258-foot par 3, one of those funky angle holes. You need an extreme anhyzer release with an overstable disc. I think mid-range is going to be best, but fairway is going to play better for most throwers. Hopefully somebody gets it right so you can see what the angle needs to be. It's pretty difficult to explain.
Yeah, this doesn't look particularly easy at all. And you could see just how much Anheuser Grady felt he needed to put on that disc to shape the shot you were talking about, but just pulls it a little bit right.
Yeah. And the shape of that, I believe, was correct. He just had pulled it a little bit, like he said, inside.
Braeden with the standstill.
This is close. Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where that is the shot that this hole demands, and he has done it. Micah, on the other hand, trying to break the hole a little bit of a different way. Oh, what?
There you have it. Overhand from Micah Groth.
Something about multiple ways to skin something. I don't know.
That had to be it. That was a tomahawk, I believe.
It was. That was his second tomahawk attempt of the day, and that one was very fruitful, it looks like.
Yeah, 2 birdies on this hole on the same car. That's pretty great. I know we haven't gotten there yet, but those guys were pretty close up there.
Oh, yeah. You feel like those should be going their way, no problem. Good up there for Grady. Should be able to give him his par, no problem. AJ has a long look here, but he might be obstructed.
Yeah, he's made a couple long putts today. Let's see if he can grab a third one here. This looks a bit high.
Solid par putt there from Grady Shue to finish off this front 9. Still certainly keeping himself within striking distance of Braeden Sides, but Braeden is going to extend that lead back to 4 more than likely, as he pretty much parked the pin off the tee.
Yeah, we've got both par cleanups before both of the birdie cleanups that we have going on here. So Braeden Sides going to move himself to 6 under par through this front 9, continuing to extend his lead.
Yeah.
Micah Groth is finally going to catch another birdie there.
So of our clash of Carolina players through 9 holes, it is Braeden Sides who remains out on top at 18 under par. Really solid first round, of course, the hot round of the day, and really good here. I mean, he's put a good pace 6 down through 9. Kind of see some of those other players on the leaderboard like Andrew Marweed and Anthony Anselmo, Kalaviska, several others kind of certainly still in the hunt. But folks, we appreciate you all tuning into this coverage. Be sure to subscribe to Ace Run Productions, as well as follow them on Instagram and Twitter to catch up with more coverage. Of course, you want to give me a follow. I'm Dustin Murray. You can follow me at Follow Dust on Twitter and Instagram, and Dustin Disc Golf on YouTube. Then, of course, Nathan Queen, where can folks find you?
You can find me Facebook and Instagram, nqueen_68286. And make sure you check out those Star Color Glow rates on Innova Disc.
There you go. I feel you, man. They are a great disc. And again, we appreciate you folks for tuning in. More coverage on the way very soon. Hope to see you there. Until next time.